FIFA World Cup qualifying review. Saudi Arabia and fellow Gulf sides struggled. The third round of Asian qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup continued this past week, with each nation still in the running for a spot at the tournament playing a pair of matches. For some, like Saudi Arabia, it was a difficult 7 days, while others moved closer to a spot at the 2026 finals in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Here, Al Arabiya English rounds up the key moments from FIFA World Cup qualifying. The international break was a poor one for Saudi Arabia that began with a painful 2-0 home defeat to Group C leader Japan in Jeddah, delivering a blow to its hopes of making it to a third successive FIFA World Cup. Given the visiting team had scored 12 goals in its previous 2 qualifiers, Roberto Mancini's players arguably deserve some credit for quelling Japan's impressive frontline at King Abdullah Sport City. Still, the Blue Samurai was able to breach the hosts' defense twice. Ex-Liverpool midfielder Takumi Minamino's header was tapped home by Daichi Kamada in the 14th minute, and though Saudi Arabia pressed for an equalizer, the team's possession was only converted into 2 shots on goal. Japan managed just 3 itself but was far more ruthless, with Koki Ogawa pouncing in the 81st minute to put the game to be ended. An immediate response was required, but Saudi Arabia coach Mancini failed to get it 5 days later on a frustrating evening for the Green Falcons, which failed to find its way through a resolute Bahrain defense. Consistently thwarted in its attempts to find a winner, the game ended 0-0 as Saudi Arabia missed a golden opportunity to steal a march on likely rivals for runner-up spot in Group C, Australia. Right now, the Socceroos occupy second spot, with Saudi Arabia third and Bahrain fourth, though all 3 sides are on 5 points. Next up for Mancini's side is a crucial home game against the Socceroos in November. A win or draw would put Saudi Arabia's World Cup destiny back in its own hands, but a loss would leave the Green Falcons with an uphill climb. Qatar and UAE struggling to stay in race. Fellow Gulf sides Qatar and UAE are also battling to stay in contention. Reigning Asian Cup champion Qatar finally kick-started its 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign with a victory over Kyrgyzstan, though that positive result was quickly followed by a chastening 4-1 defeat to Iran against Kyrgyzstan. Almoez Ali set Qatar on its way to victory as his first-half strike elevated him to top scorer spot in AFC qualifying ahead of Japan's Ie Sueda and South Korea's Son Heung-min. It was a position he cemented with another goal in the loss to Iran, taking him to 10 so far in this qualifying campaign. An own goal from Tamirian Kozabeev and a late effort from Ibrahim Al-Hassan secured the 3 points for Qatar at the expense of Kyrgyzstan. The celebrations were short-lived, however, as Iran dished out a thumping 4-1 victory in Tehran on Tuesday to bring Tintin Marquez's side firmly back down to earth. Ali's 10th qualifying goal of the 2026 campaign actually put Qatar ahead, but a dominant second-half display from the host put Qatar to the sword, with ex-Bayer Leverkusen striker Sardar Amzoun and winger Mohamed Maybai both striking twice. Also currently falling short is the UAE, which has not played at a World Cup since its debut appearance in 1990. Paulo Bento's team was left disappointed after conceding late goals against both North Korea and Uzbekistan to cede a 1-1 draw and 1-0 defeat respectively. The latter result saw Uzbekistan, aiming to reach its first-ever FIFA World Cup, remain level on points with Iran at the top of Group C. Jordan maintaining pace. Jordan is continuing to show that January's remarkable run to the AFC Asian Cup final was no fluke, as a convincing 4-0 victory over Oman ensured it is leading the way behind Group B pacesetters South Korea. A brace each from Yazel Al-Naimat and Ali Alwan, both key performers in the Asian Cup, saw Jordan take a win that eased the pain of a 2-0 home defeat to South Korea 5 days earlier. Level on points with Jordan is Iraq, which also tasted defeat to South Korea, albeit by a narrower 3-2 scoreline in Seoul. The Lions of Mesopotamia looked in with a shout of snatching a point at one stage, but goals from Ayman Hussein and Ibrahim Bayish were not enough in the end. Iraq is, however, still in a good position thanks to its 1-0 win over Palestine last week. Hussein bagged the winner and is, after these 2 qualifiers, has risen to 5th on Iraq's all-time top scorers list with 30 goals in 79 games. November's fixtures will bring a mouth-watering clash between Iraq and Jordan in Basra as both teams aim to assert their authority in the race for second place in Group B. Bringing up the rear in the same group is Palestine and Kuwait, who shared an entertaining 2-2 draw in their match on Tuesday, played in Qatar. Palestine twice came from behind as a goal from Wessam Abu Ali and a 95th-minute strike from Zaid Kunbar cancelled out Youssef Nasser's brace for Kuwait. It was only Palestine's second point in 4 games, and a victory over Oman next time out will be vital if it is to keep its improbable dream of qualifying for a maiden FIFA World Cup alive.